Hello everyone, I am your host, The Cowboy, and this is ELLIOTT WAVE Cafe, and another episode of the chart of the day. Well, what a day. Today we've had the Fed Jay Powell and his statement on the economy and raising rates and all that. It was a pretty interesting session with a lot of fireworks, but the markets have really rallied today. So it is March 16 if you're watching this video later in the future, but definitely a very bullish day. And one of the stocks that actually had a pretty strong rise today is BABA, which is up about almost 40%, 37.4, as I'm kind of watching it right now in the after hours. So this was been on my radar for a while. I do own the stock, and it's a pretty nice I think stock to get involved into, right? It's just because of all this drama with the Chinese stocks. It's gotten beaten down here since 2020. Wow. So pretty strong bear market in BABA for almost 2 years in here, right? So let's see what's going on. I mean, go ahead and stop the video and see if you can come up with the count. I'm not necessarily interested in this move from this lows to this highs. This is a little bit debatable, but see what you're seeing back in here. And especially with today's day that it's very strong of this lows, this rally here could mean something. And we're going to go ahead and dive into this one and see what we can come up with. And again, you're just bouncing off some important levels here of support. Is this a fifth wave? Let's dive in and see how things look. So I'm going to go from a 1 week to a 1 day. But if you wanted to spend a little bit of time on this, it's fine as well. I'm looking at, hey, possibly 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe that's a third. So 1, 2, 3 down in 4, and then a fifth wave in here. A little bit messy on the count. You can go in a 1, 2, 3, triangle 4, and up in 5. You can do that and have a finished move. Let's hear in wave cycle 1, and then follow by, what is this? This is a wave A most likely. Then you're going to get a B rally and then maybe another C. What if this is a flat, right? I mean, this doesn't look that impulsive. So it could be a big 3 and a big move higher here in this B wave to the top and then a C wave. What if this whole thing is just an A, up in B, and then down in C off a flat, and BABA, it's going to be rallying, right? And this is a move that kind of finishes back here. So you can go in a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 4, and 5. So you might be able, hey, what if this is a wave 1? So 1, and then that's a 2. That's an A, B, and then down in C. A very awkward flat, very large. It's possible. I have my doubts, but just kind of stay flexible in here. No matter what, if it's a flat or not, there's probably going to be a rally coming in BABA, moving higher here, maybe back towards this resistance zone. So we can put some fibs in here and just say 38%, 50% with the push to the upside, either in a B wave or in a wave 1, let's say the beginning of something. So let's dive in and take a look at the smaller time frames in here. And what am I seeing? Let's see in here. So pretty nice impulse corrections, impulse pullback. Let's see what I have for you. And wave 1 down in here. Let's take a look at that. Possibly a wave 1, small 2, 3, triangle in 4, down in 5 for a wave 1, up in a wave 2. That's fine. Then you go down in this larger third wave, maybe still a fourth and another fifth. Let's analyze that. This wave 1, are you okay with this? Looks better here with this exhaustion move in here in the fifth wave. So that's the only reason I'm putting that back there. If you don't like this, you can say maybe that's a flat. Put the wave 1 up top there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small. Up in A, down in 3 waves in B, up in 5 waves in C. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So maybe that's the right angle. I don't really care. The move already happened. So you're going in a 1, 2, then down in 3. Let's see what I have next. So then you're coming from the lows, from the highs here to the low in a wave 1, wave 2, large 3. I'm looking at the big corrections. Big corrections here in 4, corrections here in 2. This does look like it's a finished move since I'm pushing in here. So it's probably a 1, a small 2 in there, 3, 4, and 5. ABC for 2. Then another 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside this third. You can notice in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 5 of 3 with a little bit of a how you call this? Just a failed fifth wave. The term escapes me right now, but just a failed fifth or truncated fifth right there for the third. So then back up in a triangle in fourth wave and a finished higher in this fifth of 3 or 4 of 3 of the larger decline. So maybe there's still a fourth wave coming. Let's see if I have anything else. No, not really. But if you want, you can still dive in here. Let's do decompose and do as an impulse. So let's see. The software kind of guesses it pretty right. In here, you go in a wave 1, up into, then, you're having the move down in here in this larger 3. That's pretty impulsive. Maybe a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing a 4 and a 5. So it's probably somewhere in there. But it does look like it is a pretty solid, move in here. If you wanted to push this third wave down here, right, then you're going to have a couple of subdivisions, and the market is not, really sending that message. Okay. Now, what's going on here? Because you have a big rally. Are we going to do another fourth in here? I mean, you have a pretty strong move, and it could develop maybe into a lot. Since this was a pretty directional move here in the second wave, maybe this does this and kind of falls more sideways, and it does something like that. So this was the first move in A, or maybe there's another B and a C coming, and then you move sideways, you do another low, and only then Baba is done. So I'm going to keep this. But if you're starting to get above this fourth wave, above these highs in here, again, just like I talk in all the videos I do, if you're starting to get back above 129.40, it's very unlikely that this is still going to be a fourth wave. So that's going to be your clue that this move is actually done, and you got to shift to a different count. And there's nothing wrong with that. You hear people saying that all the time. Oh, Elliott wave doesn't work because people always switch counts, and everybody's like, oh, see, you were wrong, and now you're going back and you're redoing it again. Of course you're redoing it again. You're supposed to. Things change. Life changes. You're getting all kind of moves. You're getting all kind of news, right? You're not a mind reader. You don't have a magic ball that's going to tell you what's going to happen in the future. You got to work at it. Elliott wave, it's a language that you're learning. You're constantly adapting. It's an art form, right? You're just constantly working at it. And just because something doesn't work out, I mean, you were wrong on that approach. What's wrong with that, right? You're just going to shift and try to come up with the next best interpretation. As long as you're not risking money, as long as you know exactly where your stops are when you take a trade, and as long as you're confident in your abilities, you know what you're doing, there's nothing wrong. Counts change all the time. They adapt. That's why you have a primary, you have an alternate. So you're watching for these changes all the time. So I don't want to get on a tangent here, because I could talk about this for hours when people tell me, oh, Elliott wave doesn't work, or Elliott wave is not, people change it all the time. Yeah, if you read, 2 pages about it and you never spend, multiple countless hours and years kind of diving into the structures, of course you have no idea what you're talking about, right? And then, you say, oh, it doesn't work. So anyway. Let's just kind of jump back. But this would be one of the ways where you would be saying, hey, maybe this is done. So let's see how that's possible. What if this move is already done? Well, that means that that's not a fifth wave at that degree. That means that this has to change. So you're moving this out of the way, right? And you're pushing this back in there in a 3. That's probably the 4, and that's probably the 5 at that degree of trend, right? Now, what's going on in here? Now you got to have this move done. So that means that that's that 3, 4, and then you're having a 5. So maybe that's the structure, and then you're looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you're back, and this is done. Alt 3, 261.8 was a little bit lower than that, because you never know when the market is done. It's very, very hard to tell that this is exactly that's going to be the low. So that's why you got to have that flexibility. Assume that there might be another fourth wave in here. And how are you going to know that? You're going to know that depending on what type of price action you're getting in here. Okay, if you're starting to get sideways, you're not doing much, that could be another fourth wave coming. If this thing is just, starting to get an impulse. You get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you go in 5 waves, and you're starting to get near this 4th wave, and then you get a nice 3-wave setback. I mean, it's going to take some time. It's not going to go straight like that. If it does that, then to me, that's a, you know, that's usually you're shorting those things. But, you know, you're trying, it's probably going to go like that, right? Just kind of slightly rise, maybe back into this. There's a big resistance here. So it's probably going to go back in there, mess around a little bit, and then you're probably going to get a little bit of a pullback in here. If this is in 3 waves, into the 618, you're getting some kind of a reaction, then you know that this gets more confirmed. And then you push back up higher, right? It takes time for a low to get formed. So that's kind of my look in BABA here, all right? And I'm really curious how it's going to pan out. I'm going to save this. We're going to put it back onto the day here, March 16. So 03, 16, 22. We're going to save this up and have a look at it maybe in a month or two and see kind of how it progressed from, you know, from kind of what we're thinking is going to happen. And I can even put here that alternate 4th wave. This is the cool thing here. You can just go and grab a 4th wave and put it there. Change that to a primary. Change the color on it. Let's go to a, that's not what I wanted to do. Go in here and just make it red. And you can do that a little bit as a, you know, as an alternate 4th wave in here, just to kind of remind you that this could still be forming, and maybe there's still another 5th coming, and you can go and pull a 5th out of there. You know, you kind of change that to the primary degree, change the color, and then, you know, now you're thinking, now you're having this kind of like that, right? So both are possible, guys. I'll leave it at that. I hope this helped. Listen, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Suggest some stocks. I'm running out of ideas here. I still have things I want to talk about, but you know, doing this every day, I mean, that's going to be a lot of stocks, and maybe we can you know, keep pushing here. So you know, thanks for watching, and visit us in the pro room as well. Come over there, give us a try, see how you like it. Stay with us for a month. Every single day. I just finished a video for the pro room where we talked about Bitcoin, and we talked about Jay Powell and positioning, and we have a long trade in Bitcoin, and you know, where the stops are and all that fun stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.